Can your baby really eat real food out at restaurants or if you travel? If you're doing baby-led weaning, where your baby primarily eats finger foods, then how do you make that happen when you're eating away from home? In this video, I'll explain when your baby can start eating at a restaurant, whether you order or you bring your own food, and then also how do you have the staff not hate you when your baby inevitably makes a mess at mealtime. I'll share some of my favorite tips for eating at hotels and some simple travel snacks that will not stink up the airplane or the car when you take your baby-led weaning baby on the road. Hi, I'm Katie Ferraro. I'm a registered dietitian and mom of 7. I specialize in infant feeding and baby-led weaning. Now, one of the benefits of baby-led weaning is that you do not need to go out and buy special baby foods. And your baby learns to eat modified versions of the same food that the rest of your family eats. And if your family eats at restaurants, you're probably going to want your baby to be able to do that too. So what do you do if you want to leave the comfort of your own home and you want to go on a trip or you want to go to a restaurant or you're staying in a hotel? In my program, Baby-Led Weaning with Katie Ferraro, I know there's a mom, she's from Florida recently. She answered our onboarding survey and we asked her, why do you join the program? And she said, she said, truthfully, I just want to be able to go to a restaurant again and I want my baby to eat regular food with me and my husband. And I feel that. And I want to share some travel and restaurant tips that come from this program with you too. So let's take a look. So let's say you get up the gumption to go to a restaurant with your baby. What do they eat there? Well, you can go one of 3 routes, okay? You can bring your own food, of course. You have ultimate control over what the baby eats. You know that there will be something that the baby can eat and you don't have to stress. You can order something for your baby. My cousin does this with her baby every time we go out. Personally, it drives me crazy because it's like $7 for a piece of plain chicken or whatever, but that's her thing. And she just wants to order something that she knows her baby can eat. You do you. Route 3 is you can order whatever you are going to eat and then just offer your baby some of that food. That is my personal preference. I love the flexibility of baby-led weaning and knowing that my baby can just eat modified versions of the same foods the rest of my family eats. So let's say I get a fried chicken Cobb salad. I love Cobb salad. Okay, but we don't do raw leafy greens for babies because they're a choking hazard. So I wouldn't give the baby the lettuce or the spinach, but I would definitely offer some soft shreddable pieces of chicken. I'd remove the crunchy breaded outer part and just stick to the chicken. Okay, there's some avocado on there that the baby can have, some hard-boiled egg white and egg yolk. Those are 2 cool textures in the hard-boiled egg whites and egg yolks, rubbery and mealy. And if there's some tomatoes on there, the baby can have that. I probably wouldn't do the bacon, but add whatever dressing to make the meat especially a little bit easier to swallow. And I always get questions about bread and French fries at restaurants. Are these okay for babies? Heck yeah! Who doesn't love watching a baby gnaw on a piece of bread or enjoy their first French fry? Sure, those foods are saltier than what you would be serving at home, but heads up, so is everything at a restaurant. Okay, I don't think it's worth stressing about if eating at restaurants is a sometimes thing in your family. Because most of the foods that you are preparing at home, they're chock full of nutrients, okay, and very little salt. So if you're out at a restaurant and there's some white bread or some French fries, it's not the end of the world. Just a heads up, the bread can be a little challenging for early eaters, especially refined, soft white breads that have the tendency to ball up very easily. They can form a bolus that could become lodged on the roof or the sides of the baby's mouth. But you know your baby best, okay? You know if you're comfortable with bread and French fries. So maybe you'll do a combination of ordering and bringing your own food. Whatever you decide to do, you're going to want to bring your own suction mat or a placemat to the restaurant. I really like the easy peasy tiny placemat for restaurants. The easy peasy tiny placemat, it rolls up super small so it fits in your diaper bag. It's a great size for babies and it has a little lip on the edges so your baby can still rake or scoop the foods up with their whole hand or their palmar grasp if they don't have their pincer grasp yet. Also, if you have any of the easy peasy products like their mini mat or the mini bowl or the tiny bowl, don't throw out the bag that they came in. Okay, that bag is a wet bag. It has vent holes in it. It's great for transporting your items to and from restaurants. Okay, I've also definitely brought my own splash mat to put underneath the high chair at a restaurant just to be extra kind to the servers. As a former server for many years, I always appreciated when families would even make an effort to try to minimize the baby food mess. It was pretty amazing how many wouldn't. So I like the Vapored Baby splash mats for use under high chairs at restaurants in particular because they're so lightweight. They fold up really small, which is great for travel. You can also use them as picnic blankets if you're going to be eating on the go or in a portable high chair. So let's talk next about portable high chairs. Portable high chairs are so underrated. They are affordable, they're versatile. You're gonna get a lot of mileage out of these if you routinely eat meals outside of your home. In the pre-feeding section of this program, there was a whole video about choosing a safe high chair, and I shared some of my favorite portable travel high chairs. Now, I know it may sound over the top to pack and bring your own high chair, but the 2 that I love the most, the Chico Pocket Snack Booster and the Summer Infant Pop and Sit portable boosters, they all pack down really small.
So they're a little too small for the trays to accommodate most suction mats and bowls, but you can also affix these chairs to an adult chair or a bar stool with the straps that go behind and under the chairs, and then pull that baby up to the table to join you at a meal. I have a big diaper bag, and I've definitely taken these portable high chairs to restaurants when I know there either isn't a high chair or my baby's feet won't reach the footrest on the one that's there. So the older your baby gets and the more proficient at self-feeding they become, the more confident you're going to be in letting your baby use the restaurant high chairs, or maybe you're already there. One thing about portable travel high chairs is that you get a lot of mileage out of them if you travel. Okay, but what some families do, if their regular high chair is too big for their baby when they start solid foods, they'll actually use that portable one for a bit until the baby grows into it. They're not like swimming around in the regular high chair, which I think is a great idea. I totally get that you might not be down for packing your own high chair when you travel, but I do it, and I know families who do it, so I just want to throw it out there. A few other items that are helpful to have on hand when you are feeding your baby on the go. These are primarily about mess management and hygiene. So I always bring my own bibs. So whether these are the Bapron baby bibs that I use every day at home, these are waterproof and so lightweight, and they're really easy to clean when you're on the road. But there are also great travel bib options that are disposable, but very convenient. I always bring my own suction mat or bowl, but increasingly I really prefer the ezpz Tiny Placemat that I was just mentioning a moment ago. I usually keep a small silicone bag of tiny spoons and the tiny cups, the lids, and the straws if you're using a straw cup yet. We're covering straw cups in an upcoming video in this section if you have questions about when to transition to these. And then my bag always has a splash mat that I mentioned, which is so helpful for containing the mess. Obviously, you're going to have some sort of wet wipes. Just be cautious about the chemicals since you're likely wiping your baby's mouth at the end of the meal with these. Let's talk a little bit about hotels. So I love hotels because I hardly ever get to stay at one. My husband, on the other hand, travels almost full time. He lives in a hotel. So we end up road tripping a lot because we have too many kids to fly most places. I'm not a big camper. So we stay on his hotel points most places. And I love the breakfast buffet at a hotel. Okay, they're usually losing money on me after my 7 kids tear through the breakfast buffet. But there are so many baby-led weaning friendly options at a hotel restaurant's breakfast bar. Okay, you've got eggs, right? Scrambled or hard boiled. The scrambled eggs are probably going to have salt, but again, you've got to pick your battles. Okay, there's always oatmeal, and it's almost certainly made with water, which is just fine for your baby. You can add extra whole milk to that if you want. There's always cut up fruit. Okay, sometimes it's not soft enough, so I'll pour some boiling water from the tea and coffee station on it to soften it up. Obviously, let it cool down so it doesn't burn your baby's mouth. There's usually yogurt. I could go on and on. So if you're more of a bring your own food type when you're traveling, in most hotels, you can call and request a mini fridge for food storage in your room. I used to do this all the time when I was pumping and traveling. You can actually do it for your baby's solid foods too. Sometimes people join this program and they'll poke around a little and then they'll be like, wait, where's the information about babies and snacks? And you're not missing anything on baby snacks because there's really nothing about baby snacks in this program because babies don't need snacks. Okay, the infant milk that you offer between meals, that's the snack that tied your baby over to the next meal. Okay, the only people who insist that babies need snacks aren't really people who sell packaged and processed snacks to babies and their families. Okay, but this is a huge but. Travel days will require snacks, okay, for a number of reasons. Usually, you're going to be off of your schedule, right? At home, if you're on a feeding schedule, you don't need snacks because you've got regularly spaced solid food meals interspersed with infant milk. But when you're on the road, all bets are off. Okay, you're in survival mode, and snacks will certainly help. When it comes to snacks, look for snacks that contain no added sugar and minimal amounts of salt. Okay, I don't do any hard, crunchy, or crispy snacks for early eaters, but things like bananas and hard-boiled eggs, baby peanut or almond puffs, cooked pasta, these all work great for early eaters when you're out and about. Okay, I love that plain, soft cooked pasta or soft cooked carrots. Okay, your snacks don't have to be processed. They don't have to be elaborate. And also, this is so basic, but like my favorite travel snack for babies is just a banana. Okay, it's cheap. It comes in its own protective carrying case. Just don't feed your baby the banana peel. That's my only suggestion. Okay, bananas are a great travel snack. When it comes to travel snacks, okay, they're really for helping you, the parent, get from point A to point B and to help tide your baby over until the next meal, since you don't always know when it's going to be when you're on the road.
So do not give up hope. Even if you're struggling a bit with solid foods right now, it will be very soon that you'll be sitting at a restaurant and someone's going to walk right up to you and say, wow, look at your baby eating all of this real food. That is so cool. If you are looking for step-by-step instructions on how to start solid foods safely with baby-led weaning, my comprehensive online program called Baby-Led Weaning with Katie Ferraro is the solution for you. This is an expert-led, proven approach to help your baby learn to eat real food. The program is packed with video trainings to help you master baby-led weaning, along with meal plans, feeding schedules, shopping lists, recipes, videos, and instructions for preparing over 100 foods for your baby's current age and stage. And when you join the Baby-Led Weaning with Katie Ferraro program, you also get access to my 100 First Foods Daily Meal Plan, so you will never have to worry about which food to feed your baby next. You can sign up and get started today at babyledweaning.co/program or check out the link in the video description to learn more, and happy feeding.